Good morning. How are we doing? It's been a little while. Got my coffee, got my tie-dyes. It's currently like 7 a.m. 7:03 in fact. Yeah, I guess this is episode 2. Kind of had a rough idea of what I wanted to talk about in each episode, but I don't know, life quickly throws you things, and now I'm making a video on something that I didn't necessarily expect to be making one of. But before I go into that, yeah, I guess July was just a bit of a month for me, to be honest with you. Lots of emotions, lots of stress that felt like it was coming from all different directions. But that's okay, I'm through it. It's now almost mid-August and we're surviving. It's just life, you know. I feel like if I wait for life to be perfect in order to make these videos, then you'll never see another video, so get on with it, pretty much. July was a month, but I'm feeling better now in August. Things are feeling a bit calmer, which is cool. And yeah, I kind of wanted to make this video based partly on one particular thing that stressed me out quite a lot in July, because I think it might be something that a lot of people go through that may be in the same position as I was, didn't know much, so it caused a lot of stress. But yeah, I just want to share my experience and hopefully might help somebody. The first thing I wanted to talk about is I received a positive result for the HPV virus. Just want to put a wee thing out there, just saying I am not obviously like a medical professional, so I'm basically just going to tell you how I understand everything, and it might not be the right, you know, technical terms and things like that, but I'm just a girl. So yeah, apologies if I make any mistakes, educate me. I got a call out of the blue from my doctor's office just saying that the doctor would like me to come back for a full smear test. So for a bit of context, I'm 28 years old. I've had one smear test in the past. It was when I was living in New Zealand, so it would have been about 3 years ago now, I think. And all I knew really was like, when you hit 25, you get that letter from the NHS, and that's when they start looking at you. When I was in New Zealand, turned 25, I was like, okay, I should probably book one in. So I did, and it all went fine. results came back all good. And then I was in January of 2024, I was at home in the UK, but I just kind of thought, oh, while I'm at home, probably a good idea to just get it sorted for another few years kind of thing. So I tried to book one in with my like home doctors and stuff, but I wasn't able to. The lady that I spoke to said you have to receive a letter inviting you for one. You can't just book one in apparently. So I didn't. Just thought, alright, well, what you gonna do? And then when we moved to the town we're in now, we registered for the local doctors, and in my kind of just initial appointment, I just mentioned that I hadn't had one for a few years, so then she was like, oh, cool, we'll do that. They apparently have a new technology out now where you can do a self-swab. This is in Canada at least, I'm not sure about other countries, but rather than going straight in for the full smear test, which can be, you know, a bit uncomfortable for people, they now encourage you to do a self-swab first of all. Again, I don't 100% know how it all works, but my understanding was the self-swab is like a precursor that will pick up like bacteria that is present if the HPV virus is present, positive. So I did that instead. I was like, sure, sounds good. And then the usual, they were like, you know, it's all good, you won't hear anything, and if we find anything we will be in touch. That was back in May. Really didn't think anything of it after that, to be honest. Life goes on, and then yeah, it was kind of mid-July I got the phone call, and all the receptionist said was, your doctor has requested you come back for a full smear test. And obviously that immediately kind of plunged me into a bit of stress, because in order for them to call me back they must have found something, and I've never had this experience, but even like talking to my friends and stuff, it wasn't really something that I'd really heard any experience about. So yeah, it definitely felt like kind of going into the unknown a little bit. I did ask the receptionist on the phone as well. I was like, I know you probably can't tell me, but don't you only get called back if they've found like a positive result? And she very loosely said most of the time, or it could be an insufficient like collection of cells, like they couldn't get a result from it. So I had that phone call, and then the actual, obviously I booked straight in for the smear test, but the first appointment wasn't available until like, it was at least 10 days later, I think 10 or 12, I can't remember. It was a long time. And with most situations, you know, if you know the outcome or you know the result or anything, you can deal with it, and there is a peace of mind that comes with just knowing. And yeah, the fact that from that day, it was like 10 days before I would even have the full smear test, and then however long to get the results, I was just in a bit of chaos, to be honest. I did film on the day of the test. I kind of knew straight away, I was like, this is going to be something that I have to film about and talk about, because it's a really scary thing, especially when you're not educated on it, which I wasn't. The most I know about smear tests, HPV, all this stuff, I remember when I was in year 8, so I would have been like 13. I'm pretty sure like all the girls in my year, or all the girls in school, I'm not sure, got vaccinated against the HPV virus or something like that. I feel like we had 2 doses. If anyone went to school with me, can you tell me? Because I can't really remember. And yeah, that was just a vaccine, and other than that, I don't think we ever really spoke about it very much. I don't know. Whether we did or not, I did not know a lot about what it all meant. I just knew the words smear, HPV and cervical cancer just all went very kind of hand in hand to me. I had a good few cries. I've never had any kind of issues really, luckily, touch wood. I know a lot of women that suffer, you know, with endometriosis or PCOS and things like that. I am lucky to, so far, have not really been affected by that sort of thing, so this was kind of like the first thing that seemed to come out of the blue a little bit. I am really lucky to have like an incredible people around me, to be honest. You know, no matter what I'm going through, there is always people that I can turn to that hear me out and reassure me and things like that. So yeah, my partner was incredible, like family members were incredible. I basically just, the people I was comfortable telling, just told them just to hear any sort of experiences that might make it seem not as scary. Yeah, I had loads, like, geez, since, yeah, asking, it was like, oh yeah, I had that like a couple of years ago, like, oh, it turned out to be nothing, like, ugh. Like, I had so many different examples of people going through this and yeah, it being fine. But I think until it was me that knew, I've been kind of realising this about me. I think I'm a person that has to learn by experience. You know, people can give you all the right advice and say all the right things, but until like it's me, until I go through a situation and learn from it, I don't fully learn things, I guess. I don't know. My brain is kind of like, well, that's them, you know, that's their experience, yours might be different or worse or whatever. It's all a bit stressful. I went to the doctor. I know I filmed kind of just before going to the appointment and then like my immediate reaction. So I guess I will put those. Yeah. So it's currently the Tuesday the 29th of July, and I have an appointment this morning to go back to the doctor to complete a full smear test. I think it's evident from, like, I can even hear it in my tone of voice, like, speaking about this is a very scary thing to do because it's kind of happening now. Like, I think since I've started making videos and stuff and speaking about stuff, it's all stuff that I've kind of gone through, and I'm at a point now where I can, you know, see it for what it was and stuff like that. But obviously this is like current. I wanted to make a video about it because, yeah, I think it's important for people to see people going through these things, because then they become less scary. Like, I've never, before this, I've never really known or spoken to anyone in my life that has had this. Like, since I've had this and I've, you know, told a few people, a lot of amazing women have kind of told me about their experiences as well, and how it's turned out to be nothing, it's a virus, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I don't really know what I want to say because I don't know what's going to happen, so it's not. But I just kind of wanted to make a video this morning before having the appointment, just to kind of talk a little bit about how I'm feeling beforehand. I feel like I just wanted to make, I don't know, a little video about this experience because it's something that has really scared me. I'm going to try and do this video without getting emotional, because every time I do kind of talk about it, I usually get emotional. So I feel like I've cried enough tears. My gut, like, fear around this is not being able to have children. Like, again, the logical part of my brain is like, if you can't have children, you can still be a mother in lots of different ways. Technology has come on a lot of ways. Like, I don't know, I know for a fact, if I can't have children, the way I'm picturing have my own children, I know I would still be a mother in some capacity, because I really have always felt that I will be my most fulfilled when I am a mother. And I'm holding my hands up and saying I'm not ready to be a mother yet, because I've still got a lot of stuff to work out. That's where the fear is coming from. When I heard that news, my stomach fell, because I knew, I was like, ooh, cancer in that area. That's quite likely to mean I won't be able to have children. And yeah, I know it's a very, very, very slim, rare thing that it could be that, but yeah. Anyway, it's a real fear of mine, and there's a part of my brain that is living in fear, and and the rest of my brain kind of wants to like go to that, because that's probably just its coping mechanism. Everything's scary, the world is scary, and I'm really trying to kind of practice like calmness. And yeah, I've cried about it when I needed to cry about it. I've spoken about it when I need to speak about it. I know at this point there's just nothing really that I can do. I've done what I can. I'm not feeling as like intensely scared as I was at the start, which is great, but I am still scared, and I just wanted to kind of document it because it is something that is obviously very vulnerable and personal to me, but I am learning that this is a very common thing for women to go through, and I didn't know. I don't know, we'll see. Wish me luck. I mean, I'm not going to find anything out today, I don't think, but you never know. Yeah, I just wanted to basically put it out there if anyone else is going through anything similar and they're feeling scared and alone, you know, they haven't got the friends that I've had to reassure me or something, you know, people that haven't been through it. I don't know. I just want to send you a big hug. The one thing that always comes back when anything like this happens, you know, something that is out of your control, you know, you can't always control everything in life. The one saying, and my boyfriend taught me this, it's do not worry until you know that there's something to worry about. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at this week. I'm feeling calmer now. I'm coming through it, and I hope you know you will too. Sending anyone that might be going through something similar a big hug, and just know that you're not alone, and all you can do is what you can do. If you are going through something similar, I just want to say it's valid. It's valid to be nervous, it's valid to be scared, it's valid to have these fears when something is going on with your body, especially your physical health. It can be super scary and you feel like you don't have much control, because we don't. Just know that these feelings are valid, but dwelling and creating all these potential scenarios that are going to happen, all that is a waste of your energy. I'm not saying bury your feelings and not feel scared, but acknowledge your feelings, and then just say, try and say to yourself, it is a scary thing, but there's not really anything I can do now. It's not in my hands. What will be will be. And the best people are on the case. So worrying is just not gonna get me anywhere. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you need to have a cry, but I hope if you needed to hear that it helped.
Hello. I'm just gonna hold it. I'm short on time, but I just wanted to film a little reaction to like the doctor's appointment, how it went. It went well. It went really well, and she was just super reassuring. Like I told her how like stressed my brain had been over this and my body, and like she just said all the right things, and she really made it clear what it all means and what is the next steps and where we would go from here, blah blah blah, and how it all works, and just knowing that process and having it explained really clearly. She got up a diagram of like, you know, the women's womb and the uterus and the cervix and what it all means, and it was just very insightful, and the whole time I was just like, should just be learning this stuff in schools. I know everyone says it, but we really should. So yeah, she kind of went over what the worst case scenario is and what happens, and then what the majority of women have happen after this sort of thing. So yeah, she was really lovely. The actual exam went fine. It's uncomfortable, like it's not pleasant, but I just tried to not think about it too much, and she was really great and just kept chatting to me, and it was fine. It wasn't painful, it was just a little bit like a weird feeling. And yeah, no, she just like, she heard me and she heard the concerns, and she was, you know, really cleared, like there is nothing to worry about at this stage. And she said it's going to be 1 to 2 months before I get any results. And hearing that, I was like, so I can literally spend 1 to 2 months either stressing myself out over this, or I can just let it go and be like, whatever happens, happens, and there's literally nothing I can do about it right now anyway, and go back to enjoying life. So I think I'm going to choose that option. I might have moments where I fall to the other, but right now I'm choosing enjoy life and get back on track. And also excitingly, I also said to her that I think I would really benefit from therapy, and that is super exciting to me because yeah, it's something that I've known for years that I would benefit from, but obviously traveling and stuff, it's kind of just something that I thought I would do when I was settled down somewhere, and I've just kind of been trying to figure things out until then. But sometimes things get to a point where it's like, no, I need to prioritize this, and I'm in a place right now where I really want to, and think it would just really set me up for the rest of my life. And it's something that, yeah, I could have done before, but maybe it wouldn't have had the same effect now. And I don't know, I just think I'm in the time and the place where I want to do it. So yeah, she was really great. Obviously being in Canada, it's a whole different system to the UK, and that I was kind of having a bit of a struggle with that. But yeah, no, speaking to the doctor, and she just immediately pulled up this like referral form, and she's referred me, and she said hopefully you'll hear within the week and we'll get the ball rolling essentially. So yeah, it's very exciting. I'm super excited, and I do think it's gonna really help me. I think I'm at a place now where I'm kind of like realizing all this stuff about myself, but sometimes you do just need that extra like professional that can just help to make it all make sense and really kind of understand what it means and how it all relates to, you know, your life and your behavior and everything. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm more than happy to share things that I am comfortable talking about and sharing, or any tips or things like that. Like, I will 100% be documenting that journey. And yeah, I'm just super excited, and I feel like a weight is lifted now having that appointment, and it's over. And yeah, I can't do anything about it for at least a couple of months really, so I'm chilling. I'm gonna go back to carrying on with life, and yeah, just doing what I can.
After the appointment and chatting to the doctor, yeah, I felt so much better. Like I said in the video, you know, there's no point in living in this stressy turmoil for another possibly 2 months. Like, that's a waste of my time and energy. I think, yeah, the way the doctor explained it is, at this stage, it is really nothing to be concerned about. You know, it's a virus like any other virus. Sometimes it clears up on its own. If it doesn't, then there are steps, you know, they can take before it gets to the big, like, you know, C word that is the immediate thought in my brain. I can sit and try and explain it, but I just don't feel like I'm the person to explain it. Like, I feel like it made sense when the doctor explained it to me, but I don't know if I'm the person to kind of explain it to other people, but I'll give it a go. So to my understanding, yeah, HPV is like a virus that, if, you know, left untreated and is allowed to you know, develop, it can basically lead to cells on your cervix turning cancerous if left untreated. But it's a very slow moving process, was the key kind of thing. It's not like, oh, you've got the virus, you got cancer. It's like, oh, there's a positive result for one of the strains of the virus. So now that I went back and had the full smear test, the doctor said now they're just going to test for, you know, all the different strains of the virus to pinpoint which exact one is present, and then kind of go from there, really. I heard examples of people saying, you know, they had a positive result and they had the smear test, came back in 6 months, and it just cleared up on its own. You know, it's a virus like any other one. So yeah, it's at this stage it's really nothing to be concerned about. And you know, she did even go to the kind of extremes, like if it doesn't clear up, like the steps they'll take then. There are lots of things that they can do before it gets to a really concerning point. I just really wanted to make this video because, you know, I had that, I've just, you know, described the experience, but I think the key thing that is pushing me to want to make this video is, you know, I had amazing support around me. I heard all the really positive, you know, experiences from people in my life that, you know, I would trust them, and I just had all of the support I think that I needed, and even that wasn't enough to completely reassure me. So I wanted to make this video for anyone that is kind of going through a similar situation that doesn't have that support network, and you know, they might be living alone and just driving themselves crazy, and they might come across this video and it might, you know, just give them a little bit of peace about it. I'm not expecting my explanation to really be groundbreaking or anything, but sometimes I find just hearing a normal person talk about this sort of stuff, it can be more reassuring than a, you know, professional, I think, because I'm the one going through it, I guess. I don't know. That was my experience. Since the appointment, now it's been a couple of weeks, I felt fine. I don't feel ill. I'm all good. I don't think I am ill. But yeah, I am really glad that I had the experience that I did, and you know, I've learned a lot now, so yeah, I've always got to take the lessons where you can and show gratitude where you can, and I am grateful to have had this experience, because yeah, now I know in the future, if it was to ever happen again, what it actually means. And yeah, sometimes lessons come out of really, really stressful, unpleasant times. What is really funny, like looking back, I'm just like, God, you were so over the top. But the main reason I was so kind of freaked out and concerned is because I thought it would potentially mean that I wouldn't be able to have children. I even said that to the doctor, and she was like, unrelated. I know obviously cervix is part of that whole system, but it's not a concern. Don't be concerned. So yeah, that was my experience. Whenever I hear anything further, there'll be part 2 installment. Next time I could be crying and stressed again, but for now we're going with the peaceful vibes. So, and then the second part of this video, I wanted to talk about a little idea that I've had. So, also, as I mentioned at the end of the clip after I'd had the appointment, I have been referred for therapy, which is super exciting. I know to a lot of people it would be like, oh, I'm at the point now where I need therapy. I've been at that point my entire life, guys. Yeah, being in Canada, I had been trying to kind of look into options for therapy, but a lot of them are expensive. And when you are traveling, your life is on a budget pretty much, and I'm gonna say luxuries like therapy, obviously it is not a luxury, but I don't know. I just always kind of thought, when we're settled down, I'll sort that out, but sometimes you gotta prioritize your health. And yeah, I'm really glad that I mentioned it to the doctor. So I've got my first just like a 30-minute phone call on Friday of this week, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm super excited. I do think I think it's going to really help me, and I think it's going to really just, you know, I think I've been kind of doing it myself for a few months now, this year especially, and I'm hoping it'll just speed up the process, really having somebody else there helping me work things out rather than just like waiting for realizations to come. I'm excited, and yeah, I will definitely be sharing bits of that, anything helpful that comes out of it, and yeah, I think that'll be really insightful. But that, yeah, leads me on to my new idea. I'm gonna call it, I think, what's your therapy? That's kind of gonna be like the thing. When I made my first video, I spoke about you know, wanting to build a community, and I am deadly serious about this, guys. Look, it might take a while because life gets in the way, and at the rate I'm going putting these videos up, yeah, we're not a fast moving kind of people. I would really love to, yeah, build a community, and I want it to be based around the idea of people sharing, you know, what they do when they are struggling a little bit mentally. It might not be to the extent, you know, that I've struggled, or it could be more than I've struggled, or it could just be, you know, what you do on when you've had a stressful day, that kind of thing. Like, I just think it would be super interesting to bring together people from all walks of life, all ages, all cultures, like, yeah, and we can all just share what we do to help ourselves, because what might work for me might not work for another person, but what, you know, 60-year-old Sally does, that might speak to people, you know. I just think it would be really helpful to people, to know that everyone has days where they need an outlet or need something to help them get back to feeling normal. You know, it is so, everyone needs that. And I think sometimes it might seem like your options are limited, but even tiny little things can make a big difference sometimes. So yeah, I would definitely be sharing things that help me personally. Yeah, I've already kind of got a few ideas on topics that I can speak about, things that have helped me throughout my life, that some things that I've recently discovered, like all sorts of just like techniques, I guess. I think it would also be a really beautiful way to bring people together. Yeah, I've got a good list of people that I want to get involved, but anyone, if this speaks to you and you think this is a good idea, I would be so grateful and thankful for you to get in touch. Either we could figure out, you know, making videos together, or even if you just want to kind of share your idea and then have me talk about it, like anything. It gives me goosebumps every time I think about this idea, so I have to put it out there. And I think, you know, with me starting actual therapy, like talking therapy, that'll probably be a recurring kind of thing that'll come up in this segment, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still gonna like keep the sofa diaries element, and that'll be obviously me just talking about me, pretty much. But yeah, I want to kind of have another avenue where, yeah, it's kind of just purely talking about things that can help, because I want to help people. Basically, yeah, that's my idea. I would love to hear from as many different people as possible, no matter, you know, where you are, how old you are, where you are in life, like anything. I just think the more we share, and knowledge is power, and somebody, you know, might watch one of the videos and be like, if that person runs, I'm definitely not going to run, you know, but it kind of still plants seeds, so then when people are going through a tough time, you know, it might come back to them in a time where they need it, and it could always be the answer that somebody's looking for. So I don't know, I think it's a cool idea. The people that I've kind of told this about, they seem to think it's a cool idea, so I'm going with it. So yeah, the kind of title, I guess, for that kind of stuff is going to be yeah, what's your therapy, I think. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your patience. And yeah, I would love to be able to promise you that, you know, oh, it's going to be a video a week, but it's not. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for being here. And yeah, if you're interested in any of this stuff, it means a lot to me. So yeah, and if you would like to be a bigger part of what I'm doing, let me know. So I need help, I need friends. Thank you if you listened this far, and I hope I managed to explain everything in a good, coherent way. But yeah, wishing you a lovely week, and yeah, good vibes. Have a nice day.